Okay, this is going to be the Algebra 2 quarter 3 sample test. I've spread this out a little more than maybe your other teacher has, just so to give myself some more room to work. All right, and there's going to be one adjustment to a problem at the end. So we're going to go through this as fast as possible. Simplify. Okay, basically when you simplify, there's a couple things you got to try to do. You got to either do a GCF, opposite switch, or factor. Okay, you'll know you have to factor. Okay, when you have the squared. Okay, so when we factor, we're doing equa. All right, so that's going to be 1, 0, negative 9. Okay, that's going to factor to x minus 3, x plus 3. All right, I'm going to do equal for this one here. That's going to be 1, 5, and 6. That's going to be x plus 2, x plus 3. Okay, and what's going to happen is I can eliminate those. So that's going to be my answer. Okay, I go over to this one. All right. I can't factor this because it's not squared, so the GCF there is 5. So if I take out a 5, that's going to be x plus y. And on the bottom is a 15. So all I can really do is divide this fraction right here. Okay, I can do that, which will be, just so I don't have to go back to this, 5 divided by 15 would be 1/3. So that's going to be 1/3 x plus y. Okay, I'm going to see if my video camera's picking that up. Yep, so that's going to be 1/3. Okay. All right, when I move on to number 3 here, okay, now there is a GCF in the bottom, it's a 2, all right, and there is a GCF in the top, it's 16 and x. So be really cautious anytime you see an x squared and x, because you can take that out, that's going to be x plus 1. Now what's going to happen there is that goes away. If I divide that, 16x divided by 2 would be 8x. So that ends up being my answer. All right. On this one, all right, I can take a 5 out there, so that's a minus 3. Okay, divide those both by that. All right. You can do this a couple different ways. This is a minus 3 here. I can cross that off. Okay. I got 5a over a squared. Okay. Now, the way you can look at that is through some division. All right, there's one more a here, so that's going to be 5 up top and a 1 on the bottom. Do 2 minus 1 is 1, and the bigger one gets it. Okay, that's a simple way of doing that. All right. Okay, moving on to this one. Okay, this is a complex fraction. Now, what this really is division. Now, what we know in division is you've got to flip that second fraction. So this first fraction stays, second fraction flips. Okay, that can be crossed off diagonally because it's alike, and this is just going to stay like this. Okay, you can't eliminate that because those are different factors. Okay, all right, number 6 here. All right, you can factor that. Let me caution you on a couple things. It's going to be 3, negative 9, to negative 30. Now, when I factor here, that's going to be, I'm going to use x instead of p. That's x minus 5 and x plus 2. Now, something should cause you concern there, because if I multiply this, x times x is x squared, this is going to be a 3 there, so I can just put a 3 out front. Okay, so you include that GCF. Same thing here. Okay, all right, so always check that. When I go back, that's going to be an 8, a negative 56, and an 8. Okay, that's going to be x minus 5, x minus 2. Now, once again, that should cause you concern because this should be this first term. Well, x times x is x squared. I need that to be an 8, so put the 8 up front. Okay. All right. This one I got to do a GCF, which is 4. That's going to be an x plus 2. All right, because I divide them both by 4. This is going to factor as well. 1, 0, negative 4. That's x minus 2, x plus 2. All right, so what happens here is I can eliminate vertically. All right, and I can eliminate diagonally. Now, there's nothing else to cross off up top. I've got 3 and 4, which would be 12, and then x plus 2. Okay? I've got just an 8 on the bottom, an x minus 2, and an x minus 2. Okay? That 12 over 8, I am going to have to show you that. 12 divided by 8 ends up being 3 halves. Okay, so my final answer is 3 halves with an x plus 2 up top and 2x minus 2's on the bottom. Okay, there's my answer. Okay? The restrictions are the solutions, if you want to get that, the solutions of the denominator. Okay? So when I'm right here, all right, one solution of that would be 5, because that's x minus 5. Solution of that would be 2. All right, I already got that one, and that would be negative 2. Okay, so those would be the restrictions. Okay? All right, moving on. 7, division requires me to flip the second fraction. So what I have is I got 35 x4 y 4c squared. Okay, I'm going to flip that second fraction, so I got 12c5, okay, 5x9. Okay, so what you can do, all right, let's multiply going across. You can eliminate stuff. An easy way to do it, though, is if you multiply across, it's 420, right, and then if the bottom part is 20. So I got 420, x4, y, c5. On the bottom, that's going to be 20. All right, I got x9, c2. Okay, now I can divide that. 420 divided by 20 is 21. Okay, now I'm going to subtract these exponents. Now here's the way that could work. 9 minus 4 is 5. Since the x is bigger on the bottom, that 5 goes down there. The y didn't have anything to subtract with, so it stays up top. C, 5 minus 2 is 3. Since the c is bigger up top, it stays up top. So that's my answer there. Okay? All right, so be careful with that. All right, now we're moving on to adding and subtracting. With this, you need a common denominator. Okay? Now, you can't factor, all right? You can't factor 5, you can't factor 10x. So you got to ask yourself, what is this missing? This is missing a 2x. So if I put that there, I put that up top. Okay? This is missing nothing, because now the 5 and the 2 get to be 10. Okay? So I got 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared, plus 3y over my common denominator. Okay, those can't combine, so I got 4x squared plus 3y over 10x. And there's my answer. Okay? Moving on to this one. This is an opposite switch. Okay? So what I have to do is I have to take out a -1 there, and that turns into t minus 4. But what basically happens is the 4 moves over, the t moves over. Okay, now what this side is missing here is this side is missing a -1 and a -1. So 8 times -1 is -8. I got minus 5 all over my common denominator. That's going to be -13 over -1 t minus 4. Now something they might do is they might divide this here. So you could also have an answer that was like that. Okay, either way. All right. Now on this one, you're going to have to do equal to get that problem. Okay, or to factor that problem. Okay, so polynomial. All right, degree 2, 1, 2, -8. All right, so it's x minus 2, x plus 4. Okay, this one right here, all right, that's 1, -1, -20. That's going to be x minus 5, x plus 4. All right, so what's this side missing? This is missing an x minus 5, x minus 5. This is missing an x minus 2, x minus 2. Now, what's going to happen here, and I really don't have a ton of room, so let me see if I can move some of this around. Whoops. making mistakes here. What I got to do is I got to use a box. I got to use a box for this part here. Okay, so I got to use a box for that. Okay, which is x squared minus 6x minus 5x plus 30. Okay. All right, I'm going to treat this like a 4 and I'm going to multiply it. So here's what I got. I got x squared minus 5x minus 6x positive 30. That's going to be 4x and negative 8 all over the common denominator. Okay? Now, all right, the x squared doesn't have to combine with anything. Okay? Now, I got to combine this, this, and this. Don't do all that work and make a calculation mistake. Neither am I at this point. I've done a lot there. Okay, so I got negative 5. Whoops. Negative 5 minus 6 plus 4 gives me negative 7. And then I got 30 and negative 8. So 30 minus 8 is 22. Over x minus 2, x plus 4, x minus 5. I know I didn't have a lot of room there, but that would be my final answer. Okay, moving on. Question 11. Now, these are solutions. A lot easier. We're going to use the calculator for this. So I'm going to go to graph. All right? Anytime you see those equations with stuff on both sides, so I'm going to do parentheses around 4 divided by parentheses around 3 plus parentheses around x divided by parentheses around 6 parentheses around 3 divided by parentheses around 2. These are you're going to do top and bottom. I'm going to draw it. All right, G solve, intersect. I get an answer of 1. Okay, check to see if there's other answers. Now, since there's only x, that's all I'm going to be expected to write. Okay, going over here to number 12. All right, parentheses around x plus 5 divided by parentheses around 10. Parentheses around x minus 5 divided by parentheses around 5. Okay, now I can see that's probably going to cross, so I'm going to zoom out. G solve, intersect. Anytime, if I would have probably done that, like for instance, if I would have been in this window, and I would have done G solve intersect, it tells me not found. Well, anytime you do that, zoom out a little bit. Maybe try once. Okay? If you maybe a maximum of 3 times. Okay, so it's going to be x equals 15. Right? So just because you get no solution doesn't mean you're not going to get a solution. Okay, 13. Another solution one. Okay, parentheses around x divided by parentheses around 5 minus parentheses around 1 divided by parentheses around x plus 4. Parentheses around negative 9 divided by parentheses around 10. Draw, G solve, intersect. I got x equals negative 6.5. I'm going to check for another by hitting the over button, and x equals negative 2. So I got 2 solutions there. Okay, moving on. Okay, simplify. All right, so I'm going to use, all these are factoring. And I'm going to talk about that last one too, the cube. You got to be able to factor a cube. Okay, menu and equa, polynomial degree 2, 1, 6, and 9. What that means is I got x plus 3 twice. Bottom part here, 1, 7, 12. X plus 3, x plus 4. Now, what this means is I got to flip that second fraction. So when I do that, I'm going to do the 2, the 5, and the negative 12. All right, that's going to be 2x minus 3 and x plus 4. 2x minus 3 and x plus 4. Okay? All right. Now, what I'm going to do for x cubed minus 25. Okay? That's going to be a different one because I'm going to go degree 3 That's going to be 1, 0, 0, negative 125. All right? Let me go back, let me put it in the A plus BI mode. Okay, I got one good factor, which is x minus 5. Okay, that's going to go down here. And then I got to use a box, okay, where I put x cubed here, negative 125 here. That's going to be x squared. That's got to be 25. And you can use division if you don't know what that is. Negative 125 divided by negative 5 would be 25. I got to work the box a little bit. Now, with these cube problems, these have to eliminate, so that's got to be 5x squared, 5x squared. So down here I got x squared plus 5x plus 25. All right? Now, can I eliminate anything? I can go like this and like this. I can go like this and like this. So what's left over here? Up top I got x plus 3, 2x minus 3. On the bottom I got x minus 5 and x squared plus 5x plus 25. Okay, so division, got to flip that second fraction. Okay, what appears to be the solutions? Okay, the solutions are right here. Okay, it's pretty easy. What is the solution of this system? All right, it's nice it already gave it to me in y equals. So I just have to graph it. All right. Okay, x squared minus 4x minus 2, okay, negative 7x, draw, G-solve intersect. I got negative 3.3, negative 3.56, 24.93. Okay, I'm writing both the x and y because I see them both. Okay, I haven't checked for another one. I think there is another one. 0.56 and negative 3.93. Okay, now, this one, I already got this one at y equals, I got to get this one at y equals. Now, what has to happen is these are going to move over, okay? And when these move over, okay, everything is going to change sign, okay? Now, I'm sorry, you're not going to move that one over, all right? So what I got is I got negative 10y. I'm going to move that over, that's negative 1x squared. That's positive 3x, and that's positive 40. Okay, and I'm going to divide by negative 10. Now, this is just how I would do this. Okay, you got big fractions here. Okay, got positive 1/10, negative 3/10 x minus 4. Now, you could have just put all those in parentheses. Okay, all right. Now, what I'm going to do. Okay, I got 1/10 x squared, all right, minus 3/10 x minus 4. And the second line, I already got negative x squared minus 8x minus 15. Okay, G-solve intersect. I got x is negative 5, y is 0. Okay, so the question asked here, what are the x values? So this is all I care about. Negative 5, if I hit over, it's x equals negative 2. So all I want to care about is that answer. So you got to really watch what they're asking for. Okay, moving on to question 18. What are two arithmetic means? Now, here are the formulas. Go ahead and write these down somewhere. All right, these will help you. This is arithmetic, obviously. This is geo, obviously. Arithmetic means two spaces between 5 and 23. So since it's arithmetic, I'm going to use this one. So what you have to do is count the number of spaces. In this case, it's 4. Okay, so my fourth term here is 23. My first is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. I subtract 5. That's 18 equals 3d, and divide by 3. That means I'm going to add 6 each time. So that's going to be 11, that's going to be 17, then 23. So that's there's 2. Okay? What are two geometric means between 625 and negative 5? Okay? Okay? Once again, there's 4 total terms here. Okay? My fourth term here is negative 5. My first term is 625. This is r cubed. Okay? So I divide by 625. Okay? So now the Casio is not great with negative cube roots. I'm just going to tell you. All right? Not the best. Negative 5 divided by 625. Okay? Now, what that is negative 1 over 125. And I'm going to take the cube root. Now, my Casio is not the best with that. I don't know why. It gives you this crazy answer. All right, which is not unhelpful. What you can do, go ahead and take the regular cube root. Take the cube root of 1 over 125. You get 1/5. Well, shortcut there is just make that into a negative. So that's really what that rate's going to be. So 625 times negative 1/5 gives me negative 125. If I times it again, I get 25. And if you times it again, you would get that. So that ends up being your answer. That's a little trick. Just put the negative in at the end. This way you don't make a mistake. What are the arithmetic means between that? It's the same problem as before. I don't know why that thing does that. Okay, there's 4 spaces. It's arithmetic, so I'm going to use this formula. Okay, my fourth term is 18. My fourth term is 11. My first term is 29. I got ahead of myself there. Okay, so I subtract 29. That's negative 16 equals, negative 18 equals 3d. Divide by 3, you get negative 6. So that's going to be 23. That's going to be 17. That's going to be 11. Okay, find 3 geometric means between 28 and that. Okay, so if you count that, that's 5 total terms. And it's geo, so I got to use this. All right, my fifth term is 2, 2, 6, 8, and 28. And this is r to the 4th. So I'm going to divide by 28. Okay, that's 81. Okay, equals r to the 4th. I'm going to take the 4th root. Now, there is no 4th root button. But as you remember, if you put a 4 in front of this where you shift and hit the caret, you'll get that, and then you can put the 81 in, which gives you 3. So then I take 28 times 3. It's 84. 84 times 3, 252. 252 times 3, 756. And to show I'm not crazy and I didn't make a mistake, 2268. Okay? All right, moving on. Question 22, infinite geometric series. Now, with these, you're either, key thing, do you have a formula or do you got to make one? Okay? Anytime they give you a sum or an E thing, all right, I'm going option, calc, scrolling through F6. All right, now, first thing I'm putting in is the formula. Okay? So they gave me a formula, 3 times 4 to the x power. Very important, you put parentheses around your exponent, comma, x, comma. Now, here's the starting number. Starting number is 1. Okay, comma. Finish number. Now, what do you do when it's infinity? Just make it 100. Okay, so that's going to be the finish when you got infinity. Finish when you got infinity is 100. Start with 1. In that case, if I do that, gigantic number, okay, all right, so that's a huge number. So this is no sum. And the reason why it's no sum is the r is going to be greater than or equal to 1, because the r right there is 4. So that's going to be no sum. Okay, now let's go to this one. All right, same deal. All right, formula, 1/3. Exponent of x comma x, comma, they want me to start at 1. It's another infinity problem, so I'm going to go to 100. Now you're going to see this has a much different result. 0.5. That's going to be my answer. Very simple. Okay? Don't overcomplicate that. All right? Now, it says, what is the 24th term of an arithmetic sequence? Once again, do you have a formula? You need to make one. Well, we got to make one. And it tells me arithmetic. All right? So I'm going to use this. Okay? So I got, this is all they gave me so far. Now, when they, or n. Okay? Some people start using e here. No e yet. We're not using e. You only use e for sum. So 5 plus 24 minus 1, and then I put a 9. Okay? So that's going to be 212. There's your answer. Then it says, the number 203 is what term of that sequence, arithmetic sequence? Now, do we have a formula, or do they give us one? Well, we don't have one. Let's make one. an. Okay? First term, -5. Okay? Or -7, I'm sorry. n minus 1. And this is going up by 5, so this would be my formula. Now, the term is 203. Okay? Now, what they want you to do, if they give you a number like this is going to be like a guess and check. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put random numbers in there. Let's say I'm going to put, I don't know, 80. I don't know why I picked 80. It might just be fun. Okay, where am I at there? Whoops, I shouldn't have put -5. Hold on, let me clear that out. -7 plus 80 minus 1 times 5. Anytime they ask you for where that at, all right, that's way too big. So I'm going to drop down to 60 just to see where I'm at there. If that's any, all right, still way too big. Let's drop down to 50. It's probably going to be somewhere between 50 and 60, I'm going to guess. All right, yeah, it's still too big. Let's go to 40. Okay, too small. Let's go to 45. So this is a lot of just guess and check. You could do the algebra behind it, which would be solve for n. But this will be pretty much guaranteed. That's a little bit too many. Let's go 43. I hope it's 43. Yep. So this is the 43rd term. Okay? What is the common ratio of the geometric sequence? Okay? All right? Second term divided by first. Okay, if you divide those, you get -1/2. Okay, there's the ratio. Find the sum of this series. Okay, now, here's the problem here. Okay? When we do E, all right, when we do E, we need a formula. We need X. We need a start number, which is usually 1. And we need a finish number. Now, the problem is, with this current example, I don't have a formula. I can assume the start's 1. I don't have a finish number. So I got to come up with the formula first. Now, when I look at this is an arithmetic. So my formula, all right, 8 plus n minus 1, where the difference is 7. Okay, that's my formula. How do I figure out the finish number? Well, I'm going to put random numbers into here and see which gives me 106. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 8 plus, I don't know, maybe 12. Let's see if 12 would work. What do I got there? Nope, too small. Let's go to 15. 15. Okay? So 15 going in there gives me 106. So my finish number is going to be 15. I know in my class we didn't do a ton of that, but now I'm going to go and actually find the sum. Now I'm not going to put 15 in there. I'm going to put the general formula, comma x, comma 1, comma 15. 855. Okay? Right? What is the 6th term of the geometric sequence? Okay? Do I have a formula? No. Need to make one. So I'm going to use this, okay? So it was the A1, that means, or 6. What they want you to do, put 6 in there. So 11 times 5 to the parentheses, 6 minus 1. Always parentheses around that exponent. Okay, 34375. Sure hope this calculator's running. Yep, still running. All right, what is the term of the arithmetic sequence? Okay, all right, is 87. Once again, got to get a formula first. All right, what's happening here? They're being add 3, add 3, add 3. Okay, all right, once again, this is another guess. All right, negative 12 plus, I don't know, maybe 30. Pretty close. 32. Pretty close. I think it's 34. All right, so when they ask for what the term is, oh, whoops, I did that wrong. Yeah, it's 34. Okay, so that's the 34th term. I'm trying to get 87. Okay? All right, let's go to question 30. Okay, like these are all easy. Okay, they give me the formulas here. Don't overcomplicate it. Parentheses 2x minus 3. Put the parentheses that they give it to you. Comma x, comma 1, because that's the start, comma 50. Okay, 2400. Okay, this one, they changed the start number on me, so don't lose track of that. They give me the formula, 9, negative 0.5 raised to the x, put parentheses around that, comma x, comma 0, because they want that to be 0 now, and 4. 6.1875.